There we go. These guys have had days with this game and I haven't, so I'm still getting caught up on what they learned, and I need to figure out what they've learned so far as this game's been out. I need to know exactly what they learned so that way I can implement it into my game strategy so I can get better at the game. No better way than pulling information from the zeitgeist. You know, let people teach you how to play the game. Use the internet to teach yourself these tools. There's a bunch of basics in the game that I'm still not figured out. Like, I figured out how to do some combos. Yeah, I figured out how to do some high damage stuff. I figured out a couple of the mechanics. There's a couple of things that other people are doing that I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at. So I need to find out what those are. And I guarantee it, they are basics that I haven't figured out. So I would need to know what they are. So let's go ahead, and best way to find out is to go and check it out for yourself by having someone explain it to you. All right.
Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, the 2XKO Beta/Alpha Lab is now live. And in this video, I want to give you 10 essential tips to help you with your gameplay experience. Now, it may be that you're playing right now as the beta's live, maybe you get your code later, maybe there's another opportunity to play down the road, or maybe you just want to learn how the game works. Regardless, I want to give you these gameplay tips just to help you with the 2XKO experience so you can help understand what the game's about. And if you do get to play, then this will help you out in your experience. So that all said, let's start with the first tip. So this one's going to be aimed at people who are a little newer to fighting games, because I know 2XKO is bringing in a crowd that's not familiar necessarily with all traditional fighters. So when you're looking to do combos, and yes, this is very much a combo heavy game, the combos, the basic combos, can be actually quite easy. You have light, medium, heavy attacks. Light, medium, heavy.
And I already know that you can chain these three together. I kind of figured that out. However, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the tutorial of this game, I know that it's bare bones and it is still the Alpha Lab, but they really should have put a little bit more work into the structure of how it works, or how it teaches you. It doesn't need to be extensive, but I do feel like it was really bare bones to the point where I don't even know what the basics are entirely.
And you can just basically chain them into each other. So I can go light, medium, heavy, the natural 3-hit combo. Great. Yeah. We also have a universal launcher that is hold down and forward, diagonal down forward, and hit heavy. And no matter who you are, no matter what character you are, that is your launcher. So I can go here with Ari. It's the same as Alawi. It's the same as Ruff, right? So we can rely on that always being universal.
So if okay, let's go to, while we're at it, let's go ahead and go to training mode. Pause before I even do that. So universal launcher is between down and forward heavy hit, right? That's my understanding. That's what there we go. And then I know that if you hold this down, it does the trip, but it launches. Can you jump after that? You can jump after that. Okay, I didn't realize that was a launcher. I always thought that was an anti-air when I saw people doing that. So I didn't realize that was a friggin' launcher.
And therefore, if we do our chain here, light, medium, heavy, down, forward, heavy, we launch.
Oh, and that's the big... so you can launch in the middle of combos. So boom, 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 boom. No shot. Like, that's what I'm talking about, where like learning these mechanics helps so much. I did not know that that's a thing. That changes it completely. See, now that I know that, I can do all that shit. I had no idea that was a thing you could do. That's what I'm saying. Like, the tutorial in this game is, you know, I get it's an alpha stage still, but like it did not. I did not know that was a thing.
Basic B&B combo structure right there. So just do light, medium, heavy on the ground, launch, light, medium, heavy in the air, and then hit a special button, and then you can super, and that's a basic B&B. Light, medium, heavy, launch, jump, light, medium, heavy, special, super. Boom. And look at that. That's about 50% damage right there. Now, obviously, combos can get a lot more advanced, for sure. But if you're just looking for the basics, if you're just looking for what works, light, medium, heavy, launch.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the air, light, medium, heavy, special to spike them to the ground. And in a super move, boom, that is basic combo structure. You're good to go. Now, next up, we have these things called fuses. Fuses, if you ever heard the term grooves in other games, well, that's kind of
that's what the fuses are about.
It's kind of the added flavor to your team besides the characters you pick. Now, if you're a beginner to the game, I highly suggest you either pick the Pulse Fuse or the Fury Fuse.
Now, I was going to pick those two, and I actually started out on my first day playing with the Pulse. However, when I saw there was a mechanic that allows you to do double super with each of the characters, I'm like, that's the one I want to learn with. I don't care if the other ones are recommended or more beginner friendly. That's just the one I want to do, because that one looks more fun to me. That's what the one I picked.
As they're kind of tailor-made for just don't worry about it, it sort of solves itself. So our first tip, we told you just the basics of combos, but say you don't want to worry about combos, right? That's exactly what the Pulse Fuse is. Just jam on your attack button, so I'm going to go crazy on light, and notice that it's just kind of giving me that basic combo out of the gate, right? And all I did was just mash light over and over. But the same here, say I just kind of mash heavy attack over and over, it'll give me a combo ending in a super, and it's a cool cinematic
That's a
special
freaking
super.
crazy
So
super. I'm not gonna lie, that's nuts.
Stuff so much. The Pulse Fuse gives you combos for you. You don't got to worry. And this is medium auto combo, by the way. So that's great. Of course, now that said, you know, maybe you do want to do your combos. You do want to learn the quote-unquote proper way, and that's fine. And that's where the Fury Fuse comes in for beginners. So Pulse gives you the easy combos. Fury is another fire and forget. You don't got to worry about it. The other fuses, they're a bit more complex on what you got to do, right? Fury just says, once you're beat up, once you're low health, you're effectively in rage. And it works that way in many games, not even just fighting games, right? Once you get the low health, you do more damage, and that works for everybody. So Fury mode gives us a damage boost. Just being low health, you do more damage.
Holy shit.
That's all there is to it. You don't gotta think too hard about it. That's a big buff, right? In and of itself, that's a big buff. But you also get a special bonus cancel. No matter what you do, it could be like a jab, it could be, you know, big time special move that's especially say not safe on block, and you do anything and then hit all three of your attacks, and you'll immediately dash cancel out of it. Think of it like a Roman cancel, you know, a drive rush cancel, whatever, Street Fighter. Like you just basically get a get out of jail free card on block or a combo extender on hit.
Really strong.
Because, you know, like say stand heavy punch by itself doesn't like go into anything, right? But if you can dash cancel it, well then, hey, you can turn into a natural combo into itself, which is a pretty big deal.
Damn,
So
and for a
more
damage bonus to apply with it too?
Game-changing buff. That's great. But notice when you're glowing, you know, that fancy color, you actually also do more damage as well. It's not like a lot more than the base buff, but, you know, it is still more damage, right? So when you go for, you know, that big home run swing, you're just
that tells me
doing
that's
going to
be the strongest. That's going to be the strongest groove in this game by far.
Existing damage bonus, so it's just strong all around. The other fuses, you got to do extra work, basically, right? The Fury Fuse, if you don't want the easy auto combo, if you want a combo for yourself, the Fury Fuse basically just gives you more damage when the round is not going your way, and potentially just ability to sneak in a little bit more damage and win you the game when you wouldn't otherwise have it. Now, 2x KO is what we call a versus style game. That means you're part of a team, and tagging is a big part of the game, and tagging in this game is super freeform. So we actually have a base tag button, and by itself, it's an attack. And the attack just launches the enemy and just tags in your partner. So you can do
Which reminds me a lot of like
boom,
cross Tekken. It reminds me a lot of that.
Easy peasy. If you hold this button, you do a raw tag. And unlike many other of these styles of games, raw tag is completely safe. You don't do a very unsafe attack or fly across the screen or whatever. For the most part, unless like someone's actively on top of you, raw tag is not that big of a deal. You can just kind of do it, and it's free to do so. So the base act of tagging, either through the attack tag, or just through the raw tag.
That's usually pretty unusual in most fighting games.
The fun of this game is how you tag. So being, you know, a tag game, there's also assists. And whenever your second character is on screen at any point at all, like say after the assist, you hit tag and you just tag into him. Simple as that. So I can call in Alawi, she does her move, cool, does a pose. You know what, actually I want to play Alawi now, so I tagged into her. There is no restriction on when you can tag other than they have to be on the screen, because after their little taunt, if they're off the screen, well, they're off the screen, right? But you can tag in after they hit, that's great. You can also tag in before they hit. So say I want to be tricky, right? I know my opponent's always blocking my moves, but I know Braum has that command grab, right? So I could say, do this, call Braum, tag in the Braum right away, and then just tag in the Braum and go for the grab, right? And unless you're asleep at the wheel, you know, you got to pay attention. You can sneak in a lot of little fun things like that. Like say you want to get tricky with it. Echo is an excellent example here, as you can switch sides at will, right? So I can like tap the enemy and then switch sides. But while I'm tapping the enemy and switching sides, I can call my assist.
Oh, damn, okay.
I can do that, call my assist, and then I can be my assist, right? I can just tag into him right away. So say the opponent will have to just kind of start blocking the other way right away again, right? As soon as you see that tag, you have to block that appropriate character. Now you can get extra tricky. So say while I'm being tricky here, I let that assist rock. You know, Braum will attack him, keep him block stun. And while this is happening, Echo has an overhead, has to be blocked standing. And here's where it gets really fun. Watch this.
Command grab right after that?
While he's doing the overhead. Yeah. And that overhead is still an overhead while I'm tagged out. Like the bot is set to crouch and block everything, right? So if the overhead comes, they'll stand block. And you see, after I'm tagged out, he has to stand block it still, right? And now that I'm tagged out to the other guy, I could say, go low. And it picking up what I'm putting down here.
Oh, jeez.
So I can have my partner who's tagged out be committed to the overhead while I'm actively going low. And there's a lot of permutations of a lot of characters where you can create all sorts of mix-ups with this, right? You can be very, very, very tricky. And now, just so you know, there is unblockable protection. If you hit overhead and low at the exact same time,
yeah, of course,
you can block both.
Yeah, once you block one attack, it blocks
tagging
it off.
In this game is super
the blocking mechanic will
and due to
cover
the
up both
nature of it,
options.
that you can call in assist, tag whenever you want, whenever any point they're on screen.
Traditionally how most fighting games do, where you just gotta be right one read, that's it, and then it
now this one's a little quick and
thing.
dirty, but it works a little bit different than however some other games might do it. So call the assist, cool. But poor old Braum, you know, not exactly Captain America here, so can't quite charging star all the way across the screen. Or can he? Turns out,
oh, yeah, he can hold it. I figured that out already.
What is this sorcery, right? Any given assist, all you got to do when you're doing the assist, hold the tag button while you're doing the assist, and they'll start running, and they'll only stop running if they get hit, or when you let go of the button, and then they will commit to their assist. Certain characters, like say Alawi, her forward assist is actually quite strong. Very advantage on block even.
I'm not gonna lie, this game is gonna be very advantageous for people that are using hitboxes. Anyone that's using a stick is gonna be a huge disadvantage because you can hit multiple directions
she'll run, and when I let go, then she'll commit
go quickly from back and forth while doing tag inputs. You're gonna have a huge advantage in this game.
To have her just run across the screen by herself, sure, like, you know, that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles, but a lot of characters can, you know, either through themselves or through any abilities they have, provide distractions. Like Braum can toss a Poro, right? And Braum can toss a Poro, and while he's tossing a Poro, I can have her kind of run behind him.
How is that thing?
And now all of a sudden,
that thing like a little?
That's actually a 3-hit.
He's like a little goat or something that he's tossing at him.
She can have a distraction to work with, and even better yet, due to the nature of the system, say I can see myself get the hit, I can like tag out.
You know, I think I remember that thing actually. Those are the things from Arcane, right? With that little guy, that professor. Can't remember his name. Heimdegger.
If you can cover them,
something like that,
is really strong. You know, tapping your assist, getting the assist on demand is great, but sometimes make them work for it just a little bit. Make them run for it, and you might get some new setups, new tricks, new combos, new everything, right? So just hold the button, and it'll work. Not every move can run. Like Brahm's shield, he just shields no matter what. Even if you hold the button, he won't run then shield. He'll only ever just do the shield. So it is assist to assist. But most assists in this game, if you hold the button, they'll run till you let go, then they'll attack. So one of the big benefits in this game is everybody has a reversal. In many fighting games, who can like wake up safely with an invincible move is really character to character, and there's absolutely haves and have-nots. In this game here, example here, I get knocked down by Ari, and she's attacking me exactly as I wake up. In this game, as you wake up off the ground, just hold one of your special attack buttons, and everyone in the game can do this. This is a universal wake-up attack. So everybody in the game has that wake-up invincible reversal. So that's really, really good. Because, you know, if you know they're just going to mash buttons on your wake-up...
That's what I've been seeing people do when they get knocked down.
Now, however, like many games, you would expect, you know, the reversal, if they anticipated they block it, it takes you quite a while to regain control of your character after it's blocked. So you can definitely like be put on the back heel. Let's put it that way, right? It is not free. It's not just something you want to do every single time. It's there though, and it is strong. Also, keep in mind, you can only do it while actively getting up. You can't do it while you're just being pressured, while you're blocking or whatever. You have to be getting up after being knocked down. Also, keep in mind, it's not great against like jump attacks either. If I do it and then Ari just goes for a jump, as you can see here, she just clearly like goes through it. It really depends button to button here. But it's best against grounded attacks specifically. Now, keep in mind, Darius specifically does have a Shoryuken style move. He's the only character in the game, at least in this build, that does. It grants him a hit of armor, so it's not technically invincibility, but still, it's enough even on, you know, meaty attacks on wake up to blow people away. And this game being this game, it is super cancelable, making it a lot better than base reversal. So defensively, Darius has it going on. Also, being a special move in a game with easy inputs, he'll automatically face wherever the opponent is when you hit the button press. Therefore, situations like Ari doing the jump and cross up, which beat the reversal we saw before, Darius will beat that. So if you're looking for strong defense, Darius is the guy. Now, one of the most powerful game mechanics is basically the retreating guard. So you're going to find yourself in a lot of situations where you just have to block whatever the opponent's throwing at you, right? And if you hit light and medium attack while you're guarding, see that, right? I'm taking a step backwards. I'm getting out of dodge. And basically, it's a way to get space from you and your enemy, and it's completely free. So why is this good? Well, one, breathing space is always good, no matter what. You want breathing space. And two, you can actually force buttons to whiff. So say I know Ari's doing this exact string. Luckily, I do, because I programmed it, right? So if I do retreating guard on the first and then the second hits back to back, so if I retreating guard, the first and second hits back to back, you notice then the third hit
within whiff range
whiffs. And yes, sir, I absolutely
and whiff recovery in this game's huge.
So that's the essence of this technique and move. If you know their strings, if you know what they're going to do, you can just get out for free. Once again, this costs you exactly nothing to do other than your fingers pressing the buttons. It's completely free. The downside, right, because that's strong. If I can gain space for free, that's strong. Especially if I know what you're going to do, then I can whiff punish you. That's very strong. The weakness is
what's the trade-off?
You are not able to defend against lows. You can still block highs and mids.
Oh, really?
So while this is happening, I see, like, I can still block, sure. But now say she's going to do her string, and if I pick the wrong time, like right there, I'm going to get hit. Because I cannot...
I just didn't realize you can actually change the direction of the chain, too, from high to low like that. So let's say boom, boom. Okay. And that would be his option to chase down. Actually registers a low. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Ah, that opened up the whole world for me there. Oh my god, like the whole combo strings here. Oh my god, I just had a epiphany. I had a prophany. My mind just exploded. I cannot get over the fact that I just learned so much from that. Just that little bit of information. Nice. Oh, that's so nice. I like that. That just changed the game so much for me there. What else am I learning here, huh?
If I'm lucky, maybe I'll gain enough space, but if not, she'll tag me with a low, and then from there, if she's still committed to the combo, she will get the full combo, and that's kind of all there is to it. So it's a very, very powerful technique, but you can't use it brain dead style. Use it when it's smart. Use it to gain space. Use it to whiff punish if you think you can gain enough space to make the opponent.
Oh, it's the dash button. That's why. Okay.
But if they know you're gonna go for it, you're only one low away from getting blown up, and that's really bad. But still, very powerful technique. Now, on the flip of the retreating guard, we have actual true blue push block as well. So versus like how it was before, where you retreat backwards at the end of the move, and you glow blue and all that, but there's weaknesses, not the least of which on top of getting hit low, you are ceding ground, putting yourself closer to the corner. Actual push block says, no, get away from me.
Yeah, how does that work?
Now, there is a substantial cost of this.
One
Actual
bar?
push block,
Yeah, 1 bar.
which is forward light and medium, compared to back light and medium like the other one. This takes a full meter. But this
game's all about space management.
Counterplay to this.
It's all about neutral control.
Back gigantically, and you effectively reset the neutral. If you absolutely need breathing space and you cannot afford the risk of the retreating guard like talked about before, because it does have its weaknesses, this for the price of a bar is a dedicated get the F off me move while you're blocking. And sometimes, screw the bar. Sometimes you just need a second to think, and then it's worth its weight in gold in that way. So if you need a moment to breathe while you're blocking, especially say if you're getting your back to the wall, true push block for the cost of a bar will do exactly that for you. So it's a very, very powerful mechanic. And like before, if you catch him at the right time, force the right move to whiff, it can also be a guaranteed punish. So that's not a bad deal. Now let's talk more.
Let's take a look at that again.
And like before, if you catch him at the right time, force the right move to whiff, it can also be a guaranteed punish. So that's not a bad deal. Now let's talk more mechanics. This one I believe used to be called critical hit. I'm not sure what it's called now, but it's basically charged heavy attack. You do this on your
I've seen
heavy
that.
attack or your jumping heavy attack, and the telltale
You can charge it in the air? Is that what I've been landing when I've been jumping in the air? Oh, because I was wondering why I was landing so frequently. I was like, oh, no shot. Okay. What's the effect of it then? What does it do?
Bad. So it's strong for a few reasons. One, like a base heavy attack's whatever, charge heavy attack. Obviously a bigger attack, right? As you would expect.
Some characters have seen it do like a crumple effect.
And you notice the hit effect's a little bit different. Base heavy, whatever. Charge heavy, you notice a bit of a spin. All charged heavy attacks on the ground, if you hit light and medium right after the fact, you can dash cancel them, which is a very big deal.
Are you shitting me? I mean, I've just straight up naturally dashed after that. Yeah, I just do a natural dash. Yeah, but if you do that, you can do it that way too. I just do natural dash. That works better, I think. At least for my needs. Which I appreciate that. You can straight up dash after that. No. Okay. Okay, that changes things. See, this is where I get frustrated with tutorials in games. Luckily, if you go through the internet, then you can learn about this shit and learn it that way. But I always feel like fighting games themselves must teach you them in the game themselves. I understand it's an alpha lab, but still, if you have a tutorial, you may as well include this shit so that way we can figure it out.
Because you can also dash cancel these on block, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because after they block this,
it changes the game completely.
You have the advantage. Notice how I jump first, and I jump first way before Ari's out of blockstone, right? I have mega advantage. So a charge heavy is great in that, if the opponent's just being very passive, you can make them block this, then hit light and medium together to dash cancel after the fact, and then it is assuredly your turn. Go for
it's
whatever
a plus frame move.
Up, maybe go for a throw, go for whatever you think, right? You're
so that's how you can plus frame.
Going first, and you have just punished them for being overly defensive.
Okay, so basically you can do something, say you do So you can like stay plus framed if they keep blocking it, and you can plus frame your way into it. If that was a blocked string.
And of course, if this hits, well, it hits, you can literally go right into a combo. You'll have enough time to see if you got the hit or not, right? So if it hits, it's party time. You can just kind of go all the way to the bank and get whatever you want to get after the fact, right? So if it hits, beautiful. But if it's blocked, it is very much your turn, not theirs. Also note, some people have different effects. Like Alawi causes a bit of a spin out versus Ari. If it hits,
yeah, it has the crumple.
So everyone has a little bit of unique flavor to it as well. And keep in mind too, also okay for jump attacks. This is basically like your big home run swing. Very obvious. And I guess that's the only weakness of the charged heavy, is it is obvious, right? You are taking a longer time, you are glowing red.
Which does mean that you can get easily anti-aired.
On the ball, or they use a certain mechanic, which we'll talk about next, you're mostly okay. Also, retreating guard, where you go backwards to gain space, cannot be used against a charged heavy.
Oh, really? You can't use it against that.
Now, our next tip, let's talk the natural enemy of the charged heavy that we just talked about. And if I see you do it, well, I can stop you dead in your tracks, right? That is the magic of the parry. Yes, button. There is a parry in 2XKO. And on paper, anyways, it's about what you think it would be. I parry the move, I get the cool punish, go from it.
Doesn't do maximum damage, though.
So parrying is light and heavy together, or you can just
that input. Light and heavy, really?
And when you parry, it actually costs a full meter to do. However, the gimmick is if you successfully parry, then that meter is refilled. So it's a full bar on whiff. But if you actually get it, then it's completely free.
That's the trade-off. Got it.
And there is high parry and low parry. So
really?
High
There's a low parry option.
Is good, but it doesn't stop lows. Low parries, well, low parries stops lows. Kind of works the same way. So if you're up, say, against a jump attack, you definitely want the high parry. Against a mid, you can use a high parry as well, although low parries will not work against mids. Even if your timing is correct, you have to use a high parry.
Yeah, low parries are like big call-outs. They're huge call-outs.
Simple enough, right? The thing about parrying, though, the window is not very big. Like, it's not small, but you do got to be on the ball.
Probably like a 4-frame, maybe a 5-frame.
You will whiff, even if you know the attack's coming. So pay attention. It's one thing to lose meter, but it's another thing to try to parry, lose the meter, whiff anyways, then get beat up. That's extra bad feels. But yeah, parry is basically about as strong as you would think. And yes, in weird situations where, say, you parry the assist, there's a weird mix-up, parrying the one takes care of the other. As you see, Ari just kind of went flying. So if you know there's a messed up situation coming, but you don't know the particulars, you just smell when the first hit's happening, parry, for the most part, will take care of it. And for our final tip, because this is a big one, death is not the end. Yes, it's a 2v2 game, and when you lose your partner, it kind of sucks, right? Because, you know, you lose your ability to do assists, you lose your ability to do cool
I didn't notice there was a comeback mechanic built into the characters.
In return. So Braum, me bit the bullet. Really sucks. Really sucks. Now I can't use this assist, right? But notice Alawi has a specific part of her health here. And if I can bring Alawi down to that last little bit of health, notice it says last stand ready. So last stand is a super assist, effectively. It is a much better assist than you normally get, but it's only when that partner is dead, and you have to be at least 50% or less health. And now let's look at Braum's last stand assist here. Oh, that's a lot better. That's basically his super move, right?
Oh, damn, and he does recharge 8 seconds. Holy shit.
The cooldown's quite a bit longer than a normal assist, right? But the idea is the attack is also
you can get it. I thought you could only use it once, but no, you can use it multiple times. It's just long recharge time.
Much the same. Let's reverse it, right? Alawi's the one that's gone. And we call her last breath assist. Now all of a sudden, as you can see here, she did a big attack, and now there's just 2 tentacles, and they're just attacking by themselves. No need for setup, and once it's done, then we have a regular tentacle, and the regular tentacle can do all the fun things a regular tentacle can do, right? So the base last stand assist is much stronger. This is basically your comeback mechanic, if you will. It's like, I can sandwich like you between these tentacles, they keep attacking, I can just keep going, and everyone has their own unique flavor to it. Much the same here, enemy team. Say, you know, Ari's the one dead. We call on Ari, her last stand. All of a sudden, something a lot bigger than she can usually do, right? So it's not the end of the game once you lose a character. It certainly sucks. It's not ideal. It's not where you want to be. But you do have some fun stuff to work with, and the last stand's about as good of a comeback mechanic as you're going to get in the game. So make sure to use it and abuse it. So that's just a look at what can be done in 2XKO. There's a lot of mechanics. It's a mechanically dense game. Might have the simple inputs, no Shoryuken motions or whatever, no pretzels. But there's a lot to be done in this game. This game's pretty wild and pretty crazy, and hopefully what you've learned in this video will help your understanding of the game so you can get out there and play it all the better for yourself.
Yeah, that definitely helped a lot. Now I have at least a rough idea of some of the system mechanics. Now that I know that I can back dodge out of that shit. And more importantly, that just changes the game for me. Damn, okay. Damn, okay. That changes everything. Holy shit. Okay. I have something new to work with a little bit here.